All right, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to DC Fine Art. Hello, I hope audio is good. Just waiting to see if that is okay. Also checking to see if my chat is looking good. Um, so far, everything seems to be okay. I know I got a lot of wires in the way. Hello, everybody. I was just going to say, if you guys are new to this live stream, or at least to this channel, welcome. And also, I just want to let you guys know, doing today, we are going to be working on with you guys. So if you guys want to just chat along, talk about your day, or maybe you just want to ask some questions, kind of get to learn a little bit about color pencil. Maybe there's something that you didn't know and you're just kind of needing a little bit of help, you can always feel free to ask me. Um, and then usually on the beginning of these live streams, I like to go over some of the things that might be new that's coming up or that is going on with Patreon. Sometimes I have things going on over on Patreon that I'll let you guys know, kind of keep you up to date on everything. And I usually do that at the very beginning so that way nobody misses out on anything unless it's at the very end. Sometimes there may be something there that might pop up that I can inform you guys and let you know what's going on. So we're working on this color pencil piece. This is going to be our live stream. Now I do kind of figure that this is probably going to be a multiple part color pencil piece, okay? Because color pencil usually takes a little bit longer than some of the other mediums. And with this one here, I really have been going through so many things in my mind with this color pencil piece, and I may end up adding some things to it, and that will be on next week's live stream if we get done with it. I'm pretty sure we're not, but we will be probably adding some things to this, just kind of building up this actual color pencil piece. Now, if you're wanting to kind of do this on your own and you're wanting to try out the Pelican that we'll be doing, I do have in the description below a link to my Patreon. And if you sign up as a free member, you can download the line drawing for tonight's live stream with the Pelican. Now, if you're not really wanting the line drawing and you'd rather do that yourself looking at the reference photo, the reference photo is listed below in the description. It is from Pixabay, so you can easily go over there and go directly to it and get started on it. So, and as far as Patreon goes, I know I've been running behind with the lemon and the little bow. I did get the bow done. That has been on there since last week. This week, I really would like to start kind of like some of the ground of the painting. We'll just see how it goes because I have been totally swamped this week. Besides the yard sale that I did, I have been redoing my art and craft room. And I know it was my office room, but I've turned it into more of a craft room because I don't know what to do with my sewing machines or any of that other stuff that I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that my art and craft room, more of a craft type of room. This here being my studio. So that has been totally wiping out my time, and I do apologize to all my Patreons. I will be trying to get the bottom of that done and hopefully get the little duck started because he is just absolutely cute and I can't wait to get him started. It's an acrylic painting. So those are the lessons over on the Patreon. But anyways, let's go ahead, turn this around, and let's get started on working on this color pencil piece. So let's go ahead and change this. See here, live work. Okay, so as you can see, here is the line drawing, and you guys probably have noticed if you have been over on my Patreon, you had this to where you could download this line drawing. And that way, if you're in a hurry and you just want to go ahead and get to it and you don't have the time to go ahead and draw this whole thing up, or if you don't want to go through the hassle of having to trace over the reference photo and do all that stuff, and you just want the line drawing to go ahead and trace and get started, that's why it's over there. Plus that, you can also, if you're learning and you're just like, okay, I don't really know on the drawing part how you got that, you know, you can kind of look at it too, based off of the line drawing compared to the reference photo. The thing is that just a reminder that even though you have this line drawing, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be exact neither. There may be a little bitty things that's going to be a little bit off. And that's perfectly fine, because whenever you look at your reference photo and you do your actual artwork, when you're doing your color pencil or whatever medium doing, the medium that you are doing, you look at your reference photo and you follow that reference photo. And if something just don't look right or it's curved out right, you know, you can make those adjustments as you go. And that's the reason why I'm always say do not trust the exact lines on here. It's just a reference to kind of tell you where something's at, but don't think of it as being like it has to be that way. You know, if it looks a little different on the actual reference photo, make the adjustments that's needed. Okay, so I went ahead and I showed you guys the line drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. I'm going to remove my tape. That way I'm not sticking it all over the place. And I want to keep that line drawing just in case something happens to it. I mean, you never know what might happen. Let's just say I'm at the beginning of my drawing and all of a sudden I spill something on it. You know, I can easily go back and I can do another sheet of paper and have to start over again, but which is a bummer. Hopefully that never happens when you're actually deep into your artwork. But it can happen, and if you haven't gotten that far, it's really nice to have that transfer ready for you. So what I'm going to start out with is the wood poles right here. Now, I did tell you guys that the wood poles in the line drawing that you guys would have printed out if you wanted that it would be a lot shorter. Now, if you're wanting to fit it on a 11 by 14 like this one here, then you may have to just draw your lines a little bit further down for the poles, and that's really all you would need to do in order to adjust it to an 11 by 14. So I made sure that the bird did fit, at least on my printer, so I could scan it and get it to you guys. All right, so we are going to start on this, and the first thing I want to do is definitely I want to start on a pole, and that way you guys can see how I'm doing the wood texture. And once we get done with that, this second pole I'm not going to do, because there's no reason to spend this whole entire live stream doing a repeat of what we just did on this pole, kind of like over on this pole. So if you get this one done, you can just go ahead and do this on your own time, or maybe like separate. So that way we can kind of carry on and try and get as much as we possibly can done. Gosh, even my studio is a mess. Sorry, but I am gonna have to make more room. So the pencils that I got here are the Caran d'Ache Luminance. I like to use these. My Derwent Chinese White, we definitely have that. That's a must-have. And then we got our Derwent Lightfast and our Polychromos. Those are the ones that I typically like to use. And if I'm starting out at the beginning, like especially like the wood, I want something that kind of gives me a good base layer that blends really nicely. So I want to go with a softer lead. So I would say like a Caran d'Ache Luminance is like a medium. It's like somewhere between soft and a little bit hard. It's not super soft. Now if we go over to our Derwent Lightfast colors, these color pencils, these are super soft, these color pencils here, and they give you a lot of coverage, which meaning that you don't have to spend a lot of time doing those little bitty circles that takes a really long time. You can, well, I like to do like bigger circles, but I definitely fill in the paper enough that whenever you use your odorless mineral spirits, if you do use those, it really does blend like butter, like it melts. And you can get a really nice coverage and blend with these pencils here. So I like to use those at the beginning whenever I want something to have a nice blend and to get a good base layer. And then if I'm wanting to go on top with some sharp, thin lines and some thin details, I will take out my Polychromos. Now those are the hardest of the leads that I have, and those end up making really, really nice details, and that's why I like them. Like them a whole lot. But for the wood, I really like my Caran d'Ache Luminance a lot. I almost use these. I mean, you can actually sharpen them to where they get pretty close to getting them to where they're nice and sharp. They don't get as sharp as the polychromos, but they do get close. So our wood that we'll be doing on here, there's a little bit of grayish tone. I would say more of like a warm. Here's like a sepia. I love sepia. It's getting really short. I'll probably end up having to get another one out. We got our French grays, just anything with a warm French gray. You just don't want to get anything like a cold gray or a steel gray. I'm having trouble reading that one. Percent says gray. Let me see. Where's the writing on this? Okay, so it would be the bottom. Huh. Oh, Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray, 30% on that one. But I don't need every single one of them. I just need a couple. Then I'll just go on to like more of my tan colors, which are like your brown ochre. I like the brown ochres. We do have some darker browns in there, so probably Castle Earth or here's a dark sepia color. I like that one. So I'm taking that out. Castle Earth would be a good one. Dark Flesh. So any of those dark browns that you have. This is Castle Earth. There is some reddish tones in there, so you might want to use like a russet type color. Any of these oranges, I pretty much have. This is a terracotta. That may be a little bit too bright. We'll just see. Natural russet would be good. And burnt. This is burnt ochre. Oh no, might be the lightest one. So I'm just pulling out a bunch of random browns, and I'll just pick them up as I go. We got burnt sienna and Carmen Lake. It's more of a reddish brown, dark reddish brown. We'll just go ahead and keep those, and we'll use them. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And if you guys are wanting to see some of the things that I am using today in this live stream, then check out my description below. I did list off all of the products that I'll be using on my supplies underneath Amazon affiliate links. So that way it'll be easy reference for you guys to go check them out if you're wanting to know prices or anything like that. It'll be a quick find for you guys to kind of search those out if you're needing it. Stephanie, hello. How? Hi. How? Well, how? How are you? It's nice to see you, especially after the last time I think we talked, it was like storming and everything. We had a lot of rain. I'm glad all the storms bypassed us. It came close, but they bypassed us. We were really lucky. So hopefully we don't have to see that for a while. I know how. How. That's kind of funny. I messed up on that one. This is a good start to the day, isn't it? All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and erase some of this, and I'm just going to erase lightly with my eraser, and just to where I'm getting some of this off, but not all of it. I mean, this is gray tones. There ain't really anything super, super light in here that I'm really worried about. Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot my brush, and I don't have my hand thing. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. And my brush. Okay. I thought I was ready. It's been one of those days. especially after working as hard as I mean my whole house is a total mess. Like every time I clean or I reorganize or change up a whole entire room, the house completely gets destroyed. I mean, it looks like clutter galore in another room or in every room, because whenever I start organizing and going through things, I discover that it goes in certain areas, and I basically tear up my whole entire living room. So everything is pretty much a mess here, and it's kind of got me a little bit unsettled. Like I feel like I'm not getting the rest that I need because I'm staring at all the clutter that I made trying to organize and declutter. It's crazy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use some of this gray. This here is the French gray, 30%. Now, if this ends up being like not the color that I'm really wanting, or it's not really looking like a color that I would want, then you could just pick up another color and just go over it, or go to a different, just go to a different color. Don't worry about thinking that if you messed up just because you chose the wrong color. Don't worry about that. That you should be fine. Now, there is some areas that look like it needs to be a little bit lighter, but I'm going to come in here, I'm going to go on top of it with some lighter colors. So I'm not too worried about anything. And see, I just made that little dip right there, like a little dip. Now that wasn't in the line drawing, but I seen in my picture that there's like a little crack. And so I wanted to go ahead and keep that little crack that goes in there. So I went ahead and made that little dip. Now in the center here, there is like this really big crack. And I can kind of go in and do that. And I'm using a different, I mean, I'm not using the reds or anything yet. I'm going to change over to that in just a second. I'm just the least drawing this out with my color pencils. Oh boy, Whiskey's barking for some reason, and I don't know why. He may end up busting into the room to tell me. Whiskey, my little puppy dog. There might be a dog outside that he's seen in our yard, and he's got to come and tell me. I heard one little paw knock at the door, but he didn't break in. Sometimes he just bursts the door open. It's like, oh my God. And with me moving everything and shuffling everything around, this house is a mess. Like, I got a cardboard box. There he goes. I got a cardboard box in the hallway, and I got his blanket. But I think my son just went downstairs to calm him down. He doesn't like it whenever somebody comes in our yard because he's got to tell everybody about it. And it doesn't matter if it's a cat, and we got a cat, so he'll tell us about it. And all the neighbors, if we had neighbors, they'd probably hear him barking too. So now I'm just kind of drawing in some lines. I will end up having to go back over these and make them darker. But right now we're just getting some texture, some wood texture here. It will all come together. Definitely want our lines trying to go up and down as much as we can. Okay, I'm going to come through here and I'm going to make those lines just a little bit darker. I'm going to grab a hold. This sepia will work just fine for right now. Especially in this really dark area in here. I don't really want to fill the whole thing in. I just want to leave a little bit kind of showing right along the edge. I swear I can keep on hearing like noises outside. I'm like, what's going on? And this is like the one lady from our yard sale. I ended up selling one of our TV stands, and she was supposed to come by and pick it up on Sunday, but I know all the rain and all the storms that was happening on Sunday, she was supposed to pick it up and she didn't pick it up. So I wonder if she just showed up now. I didn't get anything on my phone, so I don't know. Okay, I'm going to put some darker lines in here. So a little bit of a shadow. Okay, maybe like a little bit in there. Wood, whenever you're doing like a wood grain, it's really a lot of fun. At least I think it's a lot of fun because you can kind of do your own little details if you want. You could choose to add something or choose to not add something and just kind of make it your own. Okay, so now we got that wood grain in there. That was just using our dark, like our sepia. So now I'm going to go ahead and tone this a little bit more. I know right around the edges of some in here we have a little bit of a kind of a darker color. Darker gray. Like I said, if you needed it to be a little bit lighter, you can always come through at the end and add your highlight. If you're wanting to make something a little, like not bright white, but I'm just talking about like adding a lighter tone, maybe gray, you can use that Derwent Chinese white, and that really helps. I need to make that darker, like way darker. Hold on. This is right underneath his little foot. I will probably have to go through and create a shadow and make that a little darker also, but for right now, he is fine. I'm gonna kind of okay, and then I want to go back to this lighter gray tone. I know we have a lot more browns in the center here, so we're going to keep that. But I'm going to come through and add some more of this gray that I started out with. What is that called? French gray, 30%. Yeah. Now on this paper that I'm using, it's the Canson Me Tints pastel paper. I am using the back side of that paper where it is the smooth side. And if you use the rough side, I mean, you can use the rough side. It's just, it's a little bit bumpy. It has like a little bit of bumps in it. But if you turn that around and use the back side of the paper, it's a whole lot smoother. And it's just a little bit more easier to blend on it. Like it works really well. If I wanted to go super quick with this and have this done like really quick, I could have used like did a mixed media and used like the pan pastels and then worked on it with the color pencil, but I really don't want to make it faster. I like working in color pencil for a lot of things. Like whenever I like doing the pan pastels and then doing that, but then I'm always worried about my pan pastels smudging so much on something. So it's like, at least I know that if I work with color pencil, it's going to stay, it's not going to smudge. And yes, I could spray it with my fixative spray because I do have that, but it just seems like it still holds it like better than if you don't have nothing at all on it, but you can still smudge it. So I don't know. And I put it in the plastic protective sleeves that you do for your prints. But have you ever pulled one of those out and then seen hold your little sheet up? You got pastels still on there, even if you sprayed it. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really like it, that part of it. Could just be a me thing. But that's the reason why if I'm going to work in color pencil, I really feel like instead of making it fast, would rather just work slow and then not have to worry about that part. It's just, I don't know. It might be a me thing. Who knows? I'm just don't wanting to mess it up because I love it so much. I love the artwork. I love how it looks. And I just can't imagine, because my cat already messed up one of my paintings. And it's a good thing I never did make prints of that or anything like that. I felt like it was one of those paintings that I did was really big. It was the flamingo, and it was in soft pastel. It was gorgeous flamingo, by the way. And we were trying out some new, oh, that was a microphone. That wasn't my hair. I was like, what's that little ball thing on my, it's like my microphone, sorry. I'm like, I got a little muff right there. But I didn't finish the flamingo yet, and she went and got inside that my office area where I keep everything, and she just walked right on across it with her little paws, and I found out and saw kitty paws walking all the way across it. And then she walked across the blue sky, and so the blue goes all the way up and around it, and I thought, wow, I'm guessing it gives me more incentive that I really need to do something more to that anyway. Not only do I gotta fix it, the part that she did that with, but I was gonna do some more to it anyway. She just made me more, I guess, inspired to actually get to work on that. Kitty paws. And then my daughter, she was like, oh, looks like Lola, because her name is Lola, looks like Lola wanted to try and fix it and paint herself. And I said, yeah, she's a little artist, leaving her little kitty paws all over it. And then she also got into my acrylic paint. So that's why she's like banned from my art room. Like art room, office room, she's banned. She's no entry for her because she got up on my table and walked across my wet acrylic paint and then dropped down on the carpet, walked across the carpet because she had gotten in there at night, and I don't know how she did. I think one of the kids left the door open, and walked with green paws across my carpet, and then jumped up on this table, and there was green paws. Luckily I didn't have nothing up here, but there was green paws going across the table and then back down, and I was like, holy heck, I can't believe she did that. But I mean, she's a kitty cat. I mean, she don't know no better. But yeah, she totally walked across everything. So I'm just making some little details. If you guys are wondering what I'm using a burnt sienna, and I'm just putting in my reds in here. She's a reincarnated artist. You know what? I think you're right. And the reason why I think you're right is because not only did she do that, but I also made a statement right after it that I left my door open. And I remember I left my door open. I went to go do something, and I was talking to Ethan. And when I left my door open, I was painting on a painting, and I had wet paint on my easel or on my palette thing. And I totally had like this thing where I looked at my son and said, "Oh my God." I said, "I just left my art room door open." He's like, "Yeah." I said, "She's probably in there." I said, "She's probably in there painting." And then I said, "Your cat's probably in there painting." And my son just lost it and started laughing. She's like, "She's painting?" I'm like, "Yes, she's painting." Because I have noticed that when I was painting in there earlier, she came up and I was watching her and she sat her little butt down right behind me while I was painting at my easel, and she just watched. Just sitting there watching the whole time. And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me." And she sat like that watching me for like a good like 5, 6 minutes. I mean, just standing there watching. So it felt like she was trying to learn to me. It was really weird. I was like, okay. So she might be a reincarnated artist here. You are right. But it was so cute. I felt like I had a little student sitting right behind me. But she's still banned from the art room. She can't keep her paws out of the paint. All right, I'm going to take a lighter color. What is this color here? Burnt ochre. This makes it a little bit lighter in some of these areas, so that way it's not too dark. Because we need that wood in this area here to be a little bit more on the brown side than more of the grayish tone. So just kind of adding that in here and there. She was probably thinking about attacking the movie. Oh my God, could you imagine? Flying kitty at me. Oh. Now she does go after my daughter, and I think that she was just playing. I know she is. She's so tiny. I mean, she's almost going to be a year. I mean, she's the same age as my dog. And she's like so tiny, and she chases after my daughter. My daughter's like over there screaming her head off, saying, "She's so scary. She's chasing me." I'm like, "How can she be so scary? She's like tiny for a cat." She's like, "Yeah, but the way she looks at me and then she comes running after me." I'm like, "Well, because you like it. She's playing with you." So, but yeah, she could have probably went flying kitty at me. I never would have thought about that. Gosh. All right, so now we're going to take some of this. I always call it like a tan. It's not tan. It's brown ochre, 50%. But I still call it like a tan. It's like a tannish color. And it might be a little bit too light for what I'm wanting, but I'm still going to stick it in here because I can darken it up a little bit. I just want more of a kind of a brownish kind of feel because we are going to go over it with a brown. I just don't want it too dark. And I'm not pushing down real hard or anything with the pencil, but I am going in like circles. I'm just going in a little bit bigger circles than some artists do the tiny little circles. I can't do tiny little circles. I mean, I probably could if I had patience, but I don't have that much patience. I have patience, but I don't have that much patience. Okay, so now we made that more of a tan kind of look, but it is really, really light. So I'm going to come in, let's try this one out. This one's a brown ochre, so it's not like the 30% or anything like that. It's just brown ochre. We're going to go in. And we can go up and down with it too. Just kind of go. Usually I like to go in circles, but got it filled in pretty good. I'm just adding in shades of color here. how it blends, I'm not really worried about getting like that super smooth kind of blend, even though it probably will be still smooth. I really want this to be more of a wood texture look anyway. So even if you don't get the smoothest kind of look to it, you're still getting a textured kind of look that looks like a grain of a wood. Excuse me. I mean, I need to get a drink. Okay, let's see here. I think we just used that. Yep. Where's my browns? That's my Castle Earth. That's dark. Dark Flesh. It's horrible. Zombie pencil. Do I have any other browns in here? I want a lighter brown. Carmen Lake. That's just too much. So we may end up digging out some of our Derwent pencils, because I'm not finding the color I want. I want like a, not a Van Dyke, that's too dark. I'm just wanting more of a burnt umber kind of brown. I just want a normal brown. Natural brown. Yes. So I want like a natural brown. If your pencil just says brown, that would be a good thing. That's what I'm wanting. Brown. I don't know why I don't have a burnt umber in here, or just like, they probably named it. This is a burnt sienna, but that's not it. I don't know why. Maybe I lost it. I don't think I ran out. Knowing me, I probably did. Didn't put it on my list to order it. Unless I did run out and I thought, okay, I just need to go in there and get it out of the pencils that I try and keep in stock. I never did. So it could be any of those cases here. I'm hoping. Gosh, I'm creating new words now. That's not good. I'm hoping that that'll just go ahead and lighten. Well, I don't know why I even said that. I'm hoping that it would cover it up. If you need to go get it, feel free. Yeah. Which brand of color pencils are your favorite? Yeah, I am so behind. Oh, the umber pencil. I don't know why I dyed my hair dark. I think I should go back to my blonde. Okay, so on the first question, on the brand of color pencils that I absolutely love, it's the, and I like them, I should say, it just depends on what you are using your color pencils for. So if you're using them so that way you can sell your artwork, like once you get done, just list it and sell it, then you definitely want to get a light, fast pencil so that way it stays, tries to keep as much of the color as you possibly can for a long period of time for your, for the people who are buying your artwork. So if you are doing it that way, the colors, pencils that I absolutely love, if I had to make a choice between the three that I'm using right now, I would definitely say the Caran d'Ache Luminance. Because those pencils, you can still sharpen them, you can get a nice sharp point, so that way you can make some details, but they blend really, really nice. They're like, they still blend super, super nice. So you can kind of use them both ways. And then if you're needing some other colors from like your Derwent Light Fast colors, those are super nice. But if you're needing like a dark purple, you can pick them up like just that pencil. So they sell them individually too. So you can pick up certain colors that maybe you're needing or that you really, really like. You can pick those out of some of these other ones because they all, you know, you can buy them separate, like individually. My next pencils that I absolutely love, of course, is the Derwent Lightfast. They blend like butter. I mean, you really can't get too sharp of a point on it to get fine detail because it will break, but they blend like butter. Like I said, they blend super, super nice. The polychromos, I love them because you can get those sharp details that you're needing. So if you're wanting to get in there and make some super, super fine details, polychromos is definitely the way to go. They're a harder lead. They're basically what they say an oil-based pencil, which oil-based is more of a harder type of lead. But it's a mixture of both wax and oil. It's just majority more leaning toward oil, making it harder, sharper, finer lines. And then as far as, let's see here, Holbein, I got Holbein, and those are weird. They are expensive, but they are weird. And they are soft. Because I actually got 2 drawers of the Holbein. And as you can see, I actually went in, I don't know why I did it either. I think it was just like they had a deal on them and I was like, oh, I'll just buy them individually. Don't ask me why I did this, but I did. So, actually I know exactly why I did. I wanted to get the ones that were more light fast on their star rating to make sure I'm getting something that will last. They'll be light fast. Well, I was actually watching and just like trying to look up their light fast ratings, and at that time they did not have them, and I didn't know if they had them tested for light fast ratings, and obviously I don't think they did at one point. And then they came up and then they did test them, and then it didn't really match. I guess somebody said it didn't match some of the things that were listed on the pencil. So there could be some of these that are listed as highly light fast that actually aren't as light fast as what they had listed before. So there's a really big confusion on these, on whether or not, if you're wanting to sell them on the light fast ratings. Especially whenever I got these, and I got them when they first came out. So I'm not for sure if I got the ones that they haven't done the testing on, if they have already done that already. I don't know. But the texture of these are different. There was one pencil that I used that reminded me of them, but they're like soft. They're kind of waxy slash, they're just a different type of pencil. I'm not for sure if I'm actually too fond of them, but I did only one drawing with them, and it was a long time ago whenever they first came out. So we may end up, I may give them another try because I haven't done anything with them since that one drawing, just because of that, and because of the light fast rating mess up that happened that I have no clue what I got. I can't really sell my artwork with them. Unless I know for sure exactly which colors are light fast and which ones aren't. And I just, so that was a kind of a bummer on that part, but they are weird to use. They don't feel like normal pencils. They feel, I don't know, they're very weird. So I may end up, like I said, we may end up doing something with those and trying them out on a Canson Me Tense paper and just seeing how it goes. That would actually be kind of cool. And you said I could go get the umber. I don't know if I got it. My box is all dirty. It was just right beside me. but I don't know if we have one. Let me see. Here's a brown. Dark flesh. Oh, my nail hurts. Sepia. Dark indigo. Looks like I like dark indigo. I got 2 of those. And I got a brown ochre and a castle earth. I love castle earth. Yeah, I don't see one as being like a burnt umber Caran d'Ache one. So I don't think they make one. Have you tried to do any life fast testing? Me personally, I don't do them on my own. I like to just basically, I mean, there is some people that actually signed up and actually did their life fast testing with, I forgot, it was like some sort of company, but I don't do my own life fast testing. Like, I just don't feel like, I don't know, like, I don't feel like I would personally feel like I'm doing justice to the life fast. I feel like either I'm going to either speed it up way too fast than what it would, or if I'm going to, I just don't do it. But yeah, if the company is testing them either using like the blue wool scale or the other one, then I will feel more comfortable with that. I don't think I can justify myself doing it. I'd probably get something wrong. Let's see here. I just lost my natural brown. Oh, there it is. I was like, it is the only one. Now there's a lot of sunlight on this side, just a little bit of browns. Oh yeah. Was that the thing that don't they charge for that? I think I've heard of it, but I don't know if it's for free or if they actually charge. Because I heard somebody say that they were a part of something and it costs a lot of money and they have to remain secret and not say anything of what it is. I don't know. It was something really strange whenever I heard it, and I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if they charge. I'm almost thinking that I don't know. I think there is a membership fee. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not for sure. Yeah, I was looking up all kinds of stuff for Holbein. I think is how you pronounce it. And I remember on one video, I think I watched Lockery and Lockery Fine Art, and she was saying on hers that she had so much trouble with that company and reaching out and how they kind of like didn't give her any answers, and then basically didn't even say that they ran actual third-party testing or any kind of testing on it, like for their thing, like doing the life as testing. And then I think they said, well, I think I heard somebody like came in and said, well, now they actually have the testing in a chart. That's where you heard about it? Okay, yeah. That's probably where I was hearing about it too, because she said something about it was really, really expensive to join, and you could only do like so many pencils that you wanted to send, like to be able to get them tested, but then it would take Like, it would just be really expensive. And I was like, that just sounds, I don't know, it just sounds like a lot more than what you should have to go through. I mean, I know I paid a lot of money for those pencils, but I don't know. Feels like a really expensive decoration. It just sits in the cabinet drawer behind me. But I think I need to use them anyway, just to kind of use them. And I think she said too that somebody had said that they came out with a sheet. So I just need to look into it. I just kind of put them in my drawer back there and just forgot about them, to be honest. Like, it was like, okay, out of sight, out of mind. Keep going to these drawers and don't go to that one. But I probably should look them up. Because maybe now they have something. At least hopefully, with all the comments. I bet after that video, they probably got bombarded. I wouldn't doubt it. They probably got bombarded by everybody trying to find out the Life Vest, and they probably, I bet by now, probably put something out there just to kind of make everybody calm down about it. I bet you that probably happened. So who knows? There might be one out there that I can get all my information from now. But I have used them, and they are definitely different. And they used to say, oh, it's the best color pencil ever. Like, the best one you'll ever use. And I was like, I don't know. They're still back there, and they're still basically brand new and not much off of any of them. Some of them don't even haven't been used. But I'm like, they're just different. But I think I might give them another chance. Maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see. They can sit back there and wait their turn. We'll probably end up, I don't know. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. I don't know why that just came to my mind. I actually ordered something new for us to do a, what is it called? Like a product review. So there is a new product that's out. It's watercolor. And I seen them over on Blix. It's called Beams. Like the brand name is Beams watercolors. And oh my God, those look gorgeous. I absolutely love them. I love the way they looked. And they look like they're actually highly light fast. They said they actually got it tested by a third party testing. And they're, like some of them have like a sparkle in them, like almost like a stones that sparkle and have that color, and then it molds into blue. It is gorgeous. So I went ahead and ordered me some of those, and we're gonna actually, whenever we get them in, we're gonna do a product review, and then we're gonna do like probably a speed painting, and kind of like we do for the Powerful Packs is what we're gonna do. Oh, you saw them too? Aren't they beautiful? Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. They are gorgeous. So I can't wait to get those in and do a product review on them. They're going to be fun. Okay. Let me get some of, do I have a lighter gray? Yeah, right in here. I'm going to use some of my Derwent. What is this one? Platinum. Yeah, that's like metal. I may have to use it, but I don't want to use that one. Turn my wood into steel here. They are, yes. So we are definitely going to be having fun with that one. Moonstone or Mist. It's got more of a bluish tone to it. Moonstone might have more of a warmth. I don't know. We'll try it out and see. This is Derwent Light Fast. I just want to create a little bit more of a lighter color in here and not go so dark. And we're adding in quite a few layers in this. So once we blend this, it's really going to come together. I'm going to kind of get some of these tops here. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and blend this out with our odorless mineral spirits and see exactly where we're at with all of the color pencils. So I'm going to use my odorless mineral spirits. I'm going to dip my brush in here. I'm going to wipe it off on a paper towel, and I'm wiping it off on my Viva paper towel. And then we're going to come in and start blending. I'm going to try going up and down, like more of a motion of up and down. So that way I'm still kind of going with the same direction as wood grain. I don't really want to blend my colors like in a circle on wood. I want that up and down kind of blend. Now you will, most likely you'll have to use a little bit more odorless mineral spirits on your brush to blend the first blend, but this is blending super nicely. And you just got to be careful too. You don't want to over blend and start removing all of your pigment. Once you see that blend starting to come through and your gritty graininess kind of disappears, then that would be about right. I'm going to try and follow in the direction of this dark and this black that I put in here. I don't really want to spread it out too far. So we're getting a really nice blend going on. Now, if it only almost took me an hour to do this one little piece with color pencil, you can imagine if I sat here and did 2 of them. You guys would probably be like, okay, we got to sit through 2 of these, kind of like a repeat. Nope. I will not torture you guys sitting here for two of the logs, or these poles. Definitely want to keep my lines here. Now this here is a little bit wet on the side, so I'll have to wait until it kind of dries out a little bit before we can go over that part again. So the only places we can really go over this wood pole here would have to be if it was any of the areas that I didn't go over with my odorless mineral spirits. That way we're not ruining the paper by going over wet paper and then tearing it or damaging the paper. We definitely don't want to do that. So if I do come in here, that looks like it may be still a little bit wet, except for this top portion where there is no color pencil. And I still see a little bit of my gritty grainy because I didn't go completely up there. So we probably could come in there and just barely do some little touch-ups. Especially in this area here where it's supposed to be darker. I'll probably just add a little bit in there. And just add some little marks. Okay. do have a slightly lighter color in there, but most of it looks pretty much dark. There's a lot of black shadow kind of underneath his foot. Oops. Went ahead and got a little bit too much. Well, actually, yeah, it's a little bit too much. Let me go ahead and take my Perfection eraser and just kind of erase that just a little bit. Looks like a little bit of his foot is kind of hanging off a little bit there. We're just going to do that. Barely. Don't want to push down too hard here. Probably can't touch that yet, but we'll just work on the top. Make this more of a dark brown. We need some lighter tones in there. And then I'm going to make this a little bit of a dark brown. And then I want to come in with, see here, it looks like there's some dripping paint that was on the pole, but I said, okay, okay, there's my husband. Is it okay to cut the grass? Oh, you meaning is it too late considering it's 8:04? I mean, it's still daylight. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I heard people cutting grass. I think you got 1 hour if you want to get out there and cut it. So, and I don't think it'll take you that long. He probably won't answer me. Hope that was his question. Isn't that kind of funny? It was just like come up and, okay, cool. Go for it. There we go. Like I said, I guess any question is a good question. So if anybody would feel free to ask me a question, I will be glad to help you out. And if you think you should mow the grass, well, if it's 8:05 here, go mow your grass. Go do it. That is awesome. Oh my goodness. Now I should make a phone call and be like, there's a disturbance. No, just joking. That would be horrible. Disturbing. That's horrible. I would never do that. Okay, so that's still a little bit damp there. I tried it just a little bit and it still needs to dry a little bit. But we'll still have to put another layer on there. So I'm going to go ahead and blend out just this little area. Kind of running my brush the same direction underneath his foot. There's the mower. Yay, it's on. Maybe he was saying that in case it was too noisy out, like for my live stream. I don't think so. I mean, everybody runs their mower and dogs barking and everything. I don't think it's no problem. All right, so I'm going to wait for that to dry and we're going to go ahead and move up. So let's go ahead and work on his little feet here. I'm going to do his legs though. Look at those little flippers. He's got like little flippers. So now I can actually see there's a little claw right there. We have to make a little bit of adjustment. His other foot doesn't look like claw. You can't hear it? Oh, awesome. Yeah, I can hear it, but it's like very, very faint. It's like not too bad because I ended up moving my studio into my, like I said, my daughter's room, and it's upstairs. So I'm having to walk up and down stairs, so it's down below. All right, let's do his little feet. I think I got enough grays here. We'll just use the grays that I've already got. And this little light gray that I pulled out, the moonstone. There's one person, I think it was our neighbor, and they have a lawnmower that's battery operated lawnmower, push mower. And I tell you what, I couldn't hear that thing. Like I turned around and saw somebody pushing the thing and it was so low. And I thought, wow, that's the quietest mower I've ever seen, like little push mower that I've ever like heard of. Like I couldn't believe just how there was like no noise. I was not used to that. Like I'm used to like hearing tractors. Actually, that's what my husband got. He's got a mini tractor for our lawnmower. It's a little bit overkill for our yard. But it sure does cut the yard pretty quick. I'll just wear it. It looks like super bright on camera, but this does not look as bright. Okay, so let's get his little feet here. Trying to see where his shadow is. Looks like they got a shadow kind of coming in from here, so we'll go ahead and do this side as the shadow, because this side's got a shadow. Where's his little foot? We got his little ridges. He's got like one knuckle, two knuckles. Okay, and then comes down to like right in there. So it's okay. So it just looks a little bumpy is what it looks like. He didn't even have a claw on that foot. I wonder if he should have a claw, but for some reason he doesn't have a claw. He is clawless on this foot. Okay, and then right in here seems a little bit dark. We've got this other toe that comes in kind of over. You may have to draw this in if you guys got your little line drawing. I didn't draw the claw in, but I can see a little claw. Now either you can make it to where his one flipper or foot is tucked in like underneath, or if you want to go ahead and draw that toe going over the top of his other little foot, you can do that. So I'm drawing his toe back in and I'm just drawing it over his foot, but you don't have to. You can actually keep his other toe tucked. So he can have his flipper like this, or he can have it like that. So flipper. He's like, it looks like a flipper. Okay, and then I'll come up. This side here is more the shadowy type. I'm actually going to make that a little bit more deeper of a shadow. Then we'll have a really dark area. It's got a little bit darker gray. Just kind of mimicking the way that flipper goes. It's up, goes back. So we got this weird type of shadow going on in here. That's fine. That's going to be darker. We can actually take my sepia. Gonna make that a little bit darker. And then right in this area, looks just a little bit darker. And then we got some black kind of coming in off this toe. I hope he doesn't run over any rocks. My God, I'm just like terrified now. I don't know why I just thought of that. There's been, I don't know if it's just me or what, but I've been finding a lot of rocks that are like this big that's like tossed in our yard. And it's like still, it's like probably about 4 foot into our yard from the road. And the street is like, I mean, it's a slow street. They can only go like maybe 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour. But there's these big old rocks that just end up right in our yard. And I have to go through and walk through just to make sure that nothing gets tossed in our yard from people passing by. But I'm so afraid. I walked through today, so I'm hoping I got all the rocks. But if I missed one, I don't want to hear what that's going to sound like. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna be so scared. This rock breaks through our window or something, or breaks our mower. Oh my gosh, I hate that. Let's see here. I'm trying to find a darker gray. Let's in between the grays that I have. Maybe you're one of your kids' friends. I'm not for sure. You know, my daughter's 13. So, yeah, I mean, they could have easily tossed it. I've seen a piece of gum in our yard, too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, trying to keep my puppy away from it. Because I can just imagine him stepping on that and having it stuck to the bottom of his foot with the rocks. Yeah, it could be. Now, my son, he never gets out of the house. He talks online with his friend that went to school with him. But they're online play game buddies, you know, just play games and talk with each other online. I said, you know what? I said, you guys graduated together and, you know, you guys still talk to each other. Why don't you just like meet up with them and go see them? And he goes, why? He's my friend online now. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I talk to him every day. I don't need to see him in person. I'm like, okay. Scratch that one out. Oh, that sounded horrible. Sounded like something. Payne's gray. Oh, he killed the mower. Oh my God. What did he go over? He probably went over that tree trunk or whatever. Tree root. Big tree root. He started back up. Oh, and it stopped. Knowing him, if he broke a blade, he'll probably still cut the grass with one blade swinging. He's just that type. He'll be, the whole mower will be limping, and he'll still be cutting that grass until it's done. Oh no, that is horrible. I hope he didn't break it. It just sounds funny now. I know it's weird how the kids have their online friends. My son meets up with a bunch of their online friends at a gaming convention one year. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I know my son talked about, well, when he was in the military, because he was in the Marines and then he dropped out because he was like, that's not for me. But he had a friend that he met there and he was inviting him to go to like some sort of like, I don't know if it was like an anime thing or just something that they have in California. And he's like, "Oh, I work there and I can, you know, you can come over and I'll get you in and this and that." They had a lot of fun. Oh, I bet. You know, I kind of think that would be kind of cool if he would just. I know it sounds horrible. It'd be kind of cool if he could just get out of the house. he's he's gonna be 20 years old, or he is 20 years old. He's gonna be 21. He needs to enjoy being outdoors too. So yeah, I think it would be kind of cool if he did do something like that. Just kind of explore some of the stuff that they have. And he has a friend. I mean, he can go with them. Let's see here. So I got that foot down done. Let me go ahead and do this other one. Oh, he's still cutting. Oh my god, he's hitting more stuff. What the heck? Oh my god, I'm so terrified. It's like hitting everything. We probably ain't gonna have a mower left. Failure to launch. Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god. I'm hearing him hit everything outside right now. Maybe I should have told him not to do it because he can't see. But I figured it's getting dark now, but I figured he'd be done. He's running over everything out there. It's got like a weird kind of brown kind of claw. I'm still working back and forth with these gray tones though. I have some that are a little bit warm grays. I'm going to make a little bit of bumps kind of in here. Make that a little bit darker and then come in here. He's mowing in the dark. Well, it's kind of dark outside now. Whenever I told him go for it, I was like, it shouldn't be bad. And I told him, I said, it's still light. I can still see. I said, it shouldn't take you more than an hour or anything. It should take you less than that. And he's like, okay. And he ran out there and started mowing. And now I hear him hitting everything out there. I think I've heard him hit a rock. I think I've heard him hit a tree, like a tree root or a part of a stump or something, and the whole mower like stopped. And then I heard him hit something again, and I'm like, okay, maybe he should just stop. I mean, at this point, he ain't gonna have much of a mower left. Like, that's scary. I was like limping in with a mower that he demolished outside. I have to watch him because he definitely he does some pretty funny stuff sometimes that you gotta watch. Like, okay. But I figure he would be able to see. Maybe he needs his glasses. He does. Oh my gosh. That was so funny. If you knew, okay, so he needs his readers in order to, see. But if he didn't have his readers, he can see everything far away. He just can't see things that are closer to him. And oh my God, when we go out to eat and he forgets his glasses, he'll literally have the menu like this and squinting. And everybody just like sits there and stares at him like, are you serious? Hey, Whiskey, what you doing, baby? Uh-oh, Daddy's ruining something else, huh? Is he running over something else? Oh, Whiskey's telling me all about it right now. He's like, Daddy's hitting something else. He's running over everything out there. Oh my God, that's so funny. I can't believe it. I figured that he'd be able to do it. It was another thing he ran over. He can lift the deck of the mower and then mow and then Whiskey's cute. Yeah. And now he's stuck in here and he wants to get back out. Hold on one second. I'm gonna have to let him out. You want to get out? Hold on, Whiskey. Come on, baby. There you go. Go on. There you go. Mommy's not coming out. Not yet. You can come in. He's gonna keep on opening them. Oh my goodness. He's like, I come in and I go out. Yeah, I love Whiskey. Oh my gosh. Like I never could have a, like I always felt like I've always wanted a dog, and I felt like every single dog that I attempted to potty train or attempted to train in general, it just never worked out and I could never do it. And I thought I could never own a dog because I just couldn't do it. It's hard, you know. I could have a cat and cats were easy for me, but when it came to a dog, it's like for some reason I couldn't do it. Like absolutely couldn't do it. Couldn't train them. Nothing worked out the way it should. And I took a chance on him again. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. And of course, now my kids are grown up compared to, well, at least I got 13 and a 20-year-old, compared to having a, 1-year-old and a, 8-year-old. So totally different situations now. And so I went ahead and got him. And oh my gosh, I did it. I was like, at first I thought I was doing horrible and I can't potty train him. And I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get through it. And I did. I did it. And he's been great. Like I absolutely am so happy to have him. Like I really am. He's like my best friend. He goes with me everywhere. He's always by my side. And he does that same thing with my daughter. Like, he's always there playing with her, or, sometimes he sleeps with her on the couch or something. If she falls asleep, he'll go lay next to her. So, he's been awesome. Okay, so we're getting those little feet in. Let me go ahead and get this leg. We're just trying to get some of the gritty grainy out and trying to smooth out some of these darker colors that we have in there. So we get a smooth, nice transition. He just hit something else. He should be done. I mean, my goodness. I told him it's okay and he should be fine to mow the yard, but he's probably not okay to go chopping down every tree root, rock, branch, everything else and making a racket out there that much. My goodness. Oh, I don't know. We may not have a mower left. We'll have to see what's left of our mower. I don't know. Just scares me. Okay. So now we got his little feet in. And that's just the base of his feet. We're going to end up going in and doing some more details to it. But at least we got some sort of colors in there. We got some dark tones and some lighter tones. And if we need to darken anything up a little bit more, we can always go back in there and do that again once it dries out. So what I'm going to do is go back over our wood again, doing some little bitty details, more of a final kind of details to this. Let's see here. I want to go ahead and take out the polychromos so that way I can kind of show you little bit of that. I'm gonna have these all mixed up. Oh. Probably didn't need to pull out all these pencils, but I pulled out both drawers for them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab out my dark. Let's go ahead and go to my black. Just to get some of these really dark areas, I'm gonna sharpen this too. Okay, so there's a really dark circle in there. I'm going to come through and just add any fine details. That I can see. Like there's some darker wood in here. Maybe crisp up any of these lines that maybe need to be a little bit more sharper edged. I can go in there and do that. Hopefully you guys can see. Let me see if I can't lower this a little bit more. I should have done that earlier. I was having to get the whole bird. That's probably a whole lot better. Jeez. Leave it to me that only 30 minutes before our live ends. Okay. There's one line goes all the way down. So it looks pretty good. We can come back in and add some more of our lighter Mars, what is it, moonstone? Moonstone. We can add a little bit more of that. And it's up to you on how much you want to get on your detail. Like if you're wanting to go in and really kind of add in some of those greens, like the mossy colors, you could really spend a lot of time doing it. I just don't know how far I would like to go as far as adding how much detail. We got a little bit of a transition there. I'm still adding in this gray just because it actually helps to lighten some of this browns just a little bit. Kind of adds a little bit of a highlight in there too. So I really like that. I would like to add a little bit of a shadow to this, like making it a little bit darker. I mean, we could come through with like a sepia. And then we definitely need to darken right around that area of his foot. So I definitely want to go a little bit darker, but I might actually add a little bit of the browns in here. This is dark flesh. I don't know. Let's give it a try. Okay, looks about right. We may end up having to blend that just a little bit. Oof, keep my hands off of it. I want to blend right now, but I know that if I blend that right now, it's going to take forever to dry, and I do not want to do that. So I'm going to kind of wait. I'm adding a little bit of these orangey tones in there. So I'm just throwing in some colors, basically. They're like, what are you doing? What are you throwing in there? I'm just throwing in some of the colors that I read off to you. I have a little group over here. Haven't pulled out anything else. I'm going to sharpen up my Derwent Chinese White. And I may have sharpened it a little bit too sharp of a point, so it will break. This pencil's super, super soft, so yeah, that's going to end up breaking. But it's okay. And I want to come in here and just kind of add some more of a highlight. It already broke. Barely even touched it, just like that, and it broke. So this is if you want to get it just that much more brighter. And come in here and add your highlight. I'm going to kind of take a little bit of this and just kind of string it through here and there. That way it kind of looks like we have a little bit of a, where the wood maybe a little bit higher up gives a little bit more depth to some of these deeper grooves. I'm going to do a little bit in here too, because it looks like there is just a little bit of highlight going on with this front part. Okay, and then we're going to start to lose it. There. Coming in. We're starting to lose that that highlight. So that looks really, really good. And now we're starting to get a little bit more dimension. Gotta run. Thank you for the instruction. We'll catch it with you next week. Hope your mower survives. Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie, and you have a good week. Thank you for joining. I really do hope my mower survives though, too. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of rust color right to that center of that dot, just so that way it shows like there's like a, used to be a rusty nail in there. I'm gonna add a little bit more in there too if I want to. And then I really like the way that looks though. I mean, that looks really, really good. If you're wanting to keep some of that gritty grainy that you put in with that white, I would probably definitely do that. It definitely adds a little bit of texture to your drawing. So, I mean, it's totally up to you on what you want to do on that part. I'm going to make this a little bit more redder. And then a little bit of a highlight, come in with our polychromos and crisp up some of those lines in there. I mean, we can really add quite a bit to this. I don't know if I can actually, see if I can't zoom in even more. Oh, that's as far as I can zoom. I really want you guys to get a good look at what I'm doing here. Now in this little area, I could actually blend that out a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit of a black just to kind of give it a little bit more of a shadow up and underneath his little clipper here. Yeah. And we still need to add another tone to his little feet. I'm going to come through. Now this brush I did not dip in the odorless mineral spirits. I dipped it before when we did our blending, and then I wiped it off and I sat it on my paper towel. And the whole time that I've been working on this, I did not dip it again. So this here is pretty much, it's dry, but it still has some of that odorless mineral spirits on there. And that's all I really need. It's just something very, very light to blend this, because I do not want to remove anything. I just want to soften it out just a little bit. So this log here looks really good. It is, like I said, it's totally up to you guys on how much detail you really want to put in it. Probably right up in here, you probably want to add a little bit of the, like, some highlight to the wood. Is that a claw? Not really. Okay. Kind of pull some of that down too. And so now we're really making this wood definitely pop out, or at least this stump to pop out a whole lot more. Definitely gave this a little bit of a shadow over here on this side. And I absolutely love the way this turned out. I mean, I really do. It's really fun. It's kind of easy to create. And I know we're working on the, I know I said I was going to work on the Pelican, and I haven't gotten to the Pelican. We have gotten to his little feet. So this should be dry up here on his little feet. So we're going to go ahead and start in on that a little bit more. And then next week, we'll go ahead and continue working on the Pelican and get the rest of the Pelican done, not just his feet or the little stump. We will get the rest of him in. And then at least I hope we get all of them in. He's pretty big. And then we're going to be adding some more to this painting, quite possibly. Unless I decide that it wasn't a good idea. But I think it's a good idea. And I really think I should just run with it. Okay, I'm going to use some of my sepias. Actually, I'm going to use some of my... Hold on. I'm going to use some of the dark blue. Oh, yeah, there's some blues in there. Dark indigo. Yeah, let's go ahead. I don't like that one. It's a good thing we have several, oops, sorry. It's a good thing we have several dark indigos. I want to go with one that I can kind of blend a little bit more. So I'm going to use my Derwent. Derwent or the Carandash. Oh, that's Midnight Black. That's too dark. This is black. Where is my, that's Nightshade. Denim. Maybe I can't find my dark one. I have a habit of putting things in the wrong spot. Dark indigo, here it is. I'm just not pushing really hard, but I'm actually just coming in and kind of filling in some of these darker areas in his foot. This is really dark here. Okay. And then right through here, we got some really dark area. Right through here. Okay, I'm going to end up switching this over, and we are going to do, actually, a little bit of a darker area in here. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and get some of our darker grays. I'm going to come through with this dark. I'm just going to add a little bit in there. Taking that dark indigo and kind of making those little bumps. Maybe make some of these little wrinkles too. Because they are really dark. Some of his top little wrinkles on the top of his feet up here are more of a brownish tone, so I may come in and just kind of add in some little wrinkles here. Just a little bit where it bends. Okay. I'm going to come in with my lighter tones. There is a little bit of brownish tone in his little foot, so I'm going to add, and it's like a brownish reddish kind of color, so I'm going to put that in. Where's my yellow ochre? Let's put that in. Make it just a little bit lighter in there. Okay, and then we'll add some more of the darker tone, more of our black. Now it may be that once you get done with this, you may have to go back over it again with your odorless mineral spirits, just so that way you can get another layer of color in this, and that's exactly what I'm going to end up doing. So I will come back over this with my odorless mineral spirits and do another layer of it. So it happens sometimes. You have to Sometimes you can just leave it if it looks good and you don't want to touch it, don't touch it. If it looks good and you're happy with it, you don't have to go back in and add another layer. This is only if you have already is not something that you're happy with. Then go in and add your another layer to it. Okay, this seems just a little bit darker. Okay. All right. Do I need to add any more dark? I don't know. Let's take this black and just add just a little touch of the black in there. Not very much. A little bit goes a long way. You don't want it to turn too dark. So now that we went ahead and added a little bit more color to it, that nail looks super bright. I won't have to worry about that. It will dull down quite a bit once we go over it with the odorless mineral spirits. Very lightly. You don't want to have it completely soaked in odorless mineral spirits when you do this, because if you have too much, it will end up basically going, it won't, I mean, it'll blend it, but it'll wipe it away, what you put down. And you don't need it to wipe it away. Now I'm coming over here and just kind of cleaning off my brush a little bit more on a paper towel. Just in case if it felt just a little bit too damp. And some of the color maybe rubbed off on it, and I don't want to go from dark to light and make my light too, you know, looking too dark. And we'll have to go back through, and the very last part I'll end up adding in the highlights. And once I add in the highlights, this should be good. Now it shouldn't take too long for this to kind of dry out, because I really didn't have my brush dipped and completely soaked with odorless mineral spirits, or at least not a ton of it. Okay, so now we got his darker feet. I'm going to clean that off with my odorless mineral spirits, wipe it off on my paper towel, and then leave it there. Is this somebody's vehicle, or has he got the push mower out? Because I don't think so. Because it's out of gas. Ain't no way that one's going to run. Plus that, it's already too late now. Now if you ask me, should I, too late to mow the yard? Yes. Officially, yes, it is. But who knows, he could be out there weed eating. I don't see how you can see. It's too dark. So I'm adding in a little bit more of my black in here. For my shadow. Okay. And it should be, I didn't use much on there, so I'm going to come through and I just want to see how much, let me go through my white and see. If you wanted to add a little bit of texture to it, you can, for his little legs. Just some little random dots kind of going down. So now he's got like little chicken spots. He's got little chicken spots on his legs. I'm going to add a little bit of highlight on the inside though. But he's going to keep some of his spots. Okay, I think I want to switch over to the moonstone. Is it moonstone? Yeah. Doesn't look like it shows up too much. So if it's the case, I'm going to go over it with my white. Just kind of add a little bit of a highlight maybe. Right around the edge. That way you can kind of see where everything's at. There we go. You can kind of add in some little wrinkles too with these white. That definitely helps. Okay, I'm going to come right, I know this is a little bit darker in here, but there is some highlights kind of going on right around his little foot there. Okay, I made that one. I shouldn't have made that one. Let me go ahead and backtrack just a little bit on this one here. I don't want it to be as light brown gray. Yep, there we go. Just toning it down just a little bit. I'm going to come in here and just kind of soften this up just a tad. Just added a little bit more dark back in. And so now we're starting to get more of that foot kind of look. And like I said, you can go either way with this. If you're wanting to add a little bit more highlight in areas, like maybe you're thinking, well, you know, this would probably look good if I just added a little bit more of a highlight maybe here. You could. I wanted that to come out just a little bit further that way. Okay. Soften that out at the end. So this looks a whole lot better. And I mean, these are his little feet. And if you're wanting like any of these other areas to get a little bit more deeper, like it's not dark enough, like especially in this area, you could always make it darker by adding some of your, I wouldn't say, yeah, it would be your dark indigo, or if you have the Derwent Light Fast, using the Midnight Black really does make it darker, like dark. It is basically a blue and a black mixture together. I really love that pencil. So just in case you want to get a little bit darker. any of those areas. That definitely helps. So yeah, I mean, I think today has been a really good live stream, and definitely working with these color pencils. I know that we have right now a post and we have some little feet on a post, but we still got the rest of the Pelican to do. Now I will go back and during my own free time, I will go ahead and do this other pole, or this little wooden pole, so that way it is done, it's out of the way. But basically I'm going to be using the same thing that I did with this one, because we want it to kind of match. I think they kind of match in the reference photo. Yeah, I think there's some actual like rusty screws in there. So I mean, we do know how to make the rusty little look to it, or maybe where a rusty screw was. So we just want to keep that up, and then just go ahead and do the same type of thing over on this side, except that there's no bird on this pole, so we don't have to worry about that. So that should be something that we can take back and do. And then the next live stream that we have, let me go ahead and lift this up. We will be working on the actual Pelican. So far, there he is. So there's where we got so far. Absolutely love this wood and his little feet. I think they look adorable, and I really can't wait to work on the little Pelican. It'll be amazing. If you guys have any questions after the live stream and you guys are watching it on the replay, please feel free to ask me any questions. I will answer them as soon as I see your question or your comment. And also remember, click the like, subscribe if you haven't already. Even if you share, leave a comment, any of those things, they definitely help this channel grow. And it also, I would be lying to you guys if I said that I didn't look at my likes to see if anybody clicks the little likes. I really do look at my little likes all the time. I'm refreshing just to see if anybody clicks those little likes. So please click the little like. That way it tells me like you're waving at me and saying hi, I know you're there. So it makes me feel really good to see those. But anyways, I guess we'll go ahead and end the live stream if there's no other questions or anything like that. And I will see you all on the next live stream. Bye, you guys.